All right. Not really sure what that background noise was. Interesting to say the least. So we are up and going a lot quicker than we normally are. Maybe that's a sign. I hope so. All right. Let's get this racing going. I have not looked at anything this morning, so after a long week, I slept in. So it looks like to be a large group. Not a surprise. Let's get going. Be using Blam again. Move that over to the side. And we'll be doing F1 Clash opening round here probably about 15 minutes after we get done with this opening round. All right, so team score 964. All right. And we're going to be using Blam. And we're going to have to push right from the start. All right, we're in P1 and 2. And we're ready for the old first pit stop. And let's see where we come out. I would not be surprised if they went ahead and, yeah, they're going to go around for the next pit stop. I couldn't hit the right button there. We're going to go ahead and go neutral. There'll be pit stop, and I think this group will pit stopping. That's a whole new thing. All right. And we'll go ahead and catch up to Phillips, who's on a different pit strategy than his partner. A lot of times it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. And we're going to go ahead and pit ourselves. And we'll go change views here. There we go. We're going to ignore. Jeez, I'm getting tons of emails first thing this morning. What is going on? And I appreciate everybody supporting my channel. Also, a couple other good channels to watch is Andrew DRS and Racing J and Sartorius. They primarily do F1, but you learn a lot from all of them. All right. There's our first 75 points. Now we're going to go to Daytona. And use compound with black and super glue with Phillips. All right, so we're going to use compound and super glue. I'm going to go ahead and push and get a little gap between us. And we'll go ahead and pit. Rival will go around. So really slow pit lane coming out. So always got to try to get a big advantage up in this area as you're inner so you can get out ahead a little bit better. All right, now we just got to go catch up with the bots. I believe they'll be pitting anyhow. Yep. All right, so we're in a good position. And we're going to go ahead and it should be our last pit stop. We have received a lot of damage like you do in Daytona, so we're going to go ahead and take advantage of an extra second in there to fix that up because we might need it in the end. All right. We get ahead of this pack here, then we'll go ahead and conserve. Let them pit. There they go. We're still pushing Phillips. Make sure he gets ahead. Now we can go ahead and conserve. and see how the damage has happened some more. So if we wouldn't have changed it, it'd have been kind of almost in the red or fixed it. We're not going to worry about that last pit stop. And another 75 points. All right, so we got Talladega and probably going to be using super glue. I know we will with black. Just want to look, see about this other boost. $9.45. Oh, yeah, we've raced this guy a bunch of times. All right, so we're going to use. We're going to use compound, and then no, we're going to use super glue. Super glue. I'll get it here in a minute. Uh, yeah, we'll just use super glue. Wow, not sure what happened there. Something may pop up here in my file stuff here because for some reason my fan, whenever I turn my fan on, the file folder comes up. No idea. Crazy. All right. There goes Bush. And there goes Bush. uh, and they're going to go around. We know that. And we're going to be pushing this whole lap around and maybe another half a lap. All right. That's a pretty good gap there. And might as well go ahead and pit. Yeah, I know. We're getting there. Relax. It's fine. That super glue works real well, it seems like, on this particular track. All right. Look at black just fly by. Unfortunately, Bush is using that defending, so that doesn't always work well for us. Let's see. Is he going to pit? I hope he's going to pit. I think he's going to pit. He's going to pit. All right. Now we go ahead and conserve. And we'll creep into the across the finish line there since we're completely out of fuel. There we go. Oof. Getting low on coffee again. My life story. All right. We moved up to 30th. Back to California. Oh, my neck. Must have slept wrong a little bit. All right. 912. Raced against that guy before. All right. We actually qualified 1 and 2. Shocking. All right. And we'll do the infamous push. And Rival's going to pass us, but we're going to pass him. And we're going to hold back on Black. And then we can hold back on Phillips. And we'll get ready to do our first pit stop. I always like to push into the pits. Just give that little bit of a gap in there. May help us out. All right. Rivals pitting. We'll go around this wad of drivers there. We're conserving because, well, no, we're still going to have to do one more pit stop. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and push. Build that gap up a little more. All right, we got almost a half a lap on them. That'll help the cause. And we'll get down track side. And we'll go ahead and conserve at this point. We'll go fast here in a minute. There we go. All right. And they're pitting on their last lap. Pretty much will always win if your rival pits on the last lap. Gotta change that pit strategy, but don't when you race me. All right. Richmond. There we go. Too many cords over in that one corner. I'm not sure if I've raced against this guy or not, but we will see how we do. All right. And we're finally going to use energy. We haven't used it all open around here. And this is just kind of fun. Richmond and Phoenix. Y'all who watch me know these are my two favorite tracks because I just go crazy. Just push, 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 push all the way around. Don't care about fuel strategy, tire strategy, or anything. Just go. See how many people I can lap. All right, here comes our first pit stop at Richmond and Phoenix. You always want to fuel and tires every time so you can get those fastest laps going. All right, rivals going by, but they'll be pitting, so we'll be good. There they go. Now, what we do want to do here is just kind of conserve a little bit so we don't get in that situation where they pit and we pit the wrong time and all that good stuff. So we can go ahead and push Phillips as he has plenty of fuel. All right. Oh, look at that damage. Let's go ahead and get all that fixed. We'll have plenty of time. And and we'll just go ahead and push through these last 3 laps here. Oh, Rival Phillips is giving us a little grief here. Is he going to pit? He is going to pit. All right. And they're doing that last lap pit stop. Another example of how that doesn't work, especially at these short tracks like Phoenix and Richmond. All right, so I think this will be race 6 coming up. We're currently 25th. So we should run out of coffee by the time we're done with all the racing. I had to do my fuel management there, my coffee management. 966. Oh, this will be fun. All right. Let's see if we can do any good here. Sometimes it matters on the team score, sometimes it doesn't. All right, let's see. Go figure the last 2 races, we're going to end up one of those races having a guy that's extremely higher score than us, which typically happens at least one race weekend. So we'll just have to watch the strategies. Logano and Black. And we're not going to worry so much. It'll be a little bit different race. Normally, like I said, I have fun. I push. I'm just going to have to see with this higher team score. Not that I'm freaking out or anything. It's just I just want to see how they're racing. I want to have some options available. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do is actually conserve a little bit more than we normally do. All right, so they're going to go around. Not a shock. So what we need to do is try to lap them, which is something you can do here at Phoenix. We got to build a super huge space. And we're going to have to pit a lot sooner than I wanted to, but this will be fine. All right. Well, no, we're pitting right on. Yeah, 10. We're good. All right. Came in exactly with no fuel, so that's good. We took a little longer in the pits with Black because of his damage, but I think we'll be all right. We're going to go ahead and conserve both our drivers. So this race has been a little bit more strategic than my normal, just because of the higher team score and not racing this guy before. All right. And that's how it's done. All right. Wow. There's already 11 folks that have 525. Yikes. And that's California, of course. All right. So I think what we're going to do is use super glue this go around. We normally use Blam at California, but I want to try. Really? Another 964? You gotta be kidding me. All right. Maybe we'll stick with Blam. I'm not sure. All right. So we got Blam. If I use super glue, that's going to. Come on. Really? Ugh. I don't know what happened there. It wouldn't change. There we go. Yeah, I think we'll do this and see how it goes. Oops. It's not over until it's over, so let's see. I really don't want to have to push the whole time around. All right, let's go ahead and pit. Get caught up to that group right there ahead of us. All right. 4 laps left. And we're going to go ahead and pit now. Got a nice little break in there between the rest of the pack. And I think they'll probably have to pit. Yeah, they're going to have to pit. So what we're going to do is catch up to them just a little bit. And then we're going to conserve. There they go into the pits. Yeah, we can go ahead and go fast. And there's another 75. And let's see. Hey, we got the fastest lap. All right. So we got quite a few still needing the race. And we'll take our little spinner. And we'll see what we got here. Supernova. Do a little spinner. And then we'll call it good for the opening round. And we will see y'all hopefully when I do opening round here. I was going to say about 15 minutes after, but I'm going to grab a little snack and everything. So probably be around 11 o'clock. Yeah, 11 o'clock. All righty. Well, good luck if you're racing, and we will see you next go around.